Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full of line. In it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my cuz, young blood, but we ain't kin. You think of jumping, man, you best think again. The dirty, I'm the type of man that might go broke for revenge. Had some not so nice friends, kick the door off the hinge. Take the door off your bins, pop four of your friends. Man, please, this shit ain't cynical. Man, no subliminal, I'm physical, financial, and mental to be a general. Hey, the mama claims she want a soldier.
Oh, my mic's muted. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with episode, I think this is episode number 7 of the Neutral Zone podcast. Today, I am joined with 2 guests. Austin and Cameron could not make it today, unfortunately. But today, I am joined with B-Rad the Man and Catasio.
What's up?
So, because you guys are new, I guess I already said your name. Say your favorite team and who you guys think is going to win MVP this year. I'll start with B-Rad.
Well, I think we can kind of tell already who I'm rooting for. So, obviously, Green Bay and MVP. I don't know. I'm starting to think that Josh Allen is looking like he could be the front runner. Although Mahomes has looked good Thursday he looked pretty decent, but I'm gonna go Allen.
That's a respectable choice, and I think we know Kat, I
don't know if you got a picture of my profile. My favorite team is Seattle, and Geno Smith winning MVP.
All right,
another answer.
For those that are listening on Spotify, Kat has a profile picture of Geno Smith holding the Lombardi Trophy, winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, I will admit Monday night, Geno Smith looked like he was like a legitimate quarterback. Like he actually looked like he looked good. Let's say what did he have? What was he like 24 or 28 or something like that?
Yeah,
like,
it was something
against Denver. Yeah, that's pretty good quarterbacking right there.
That was insane. And both teams went through pretty bad injuries. Like Seattle lost your star safety Jamal Adams, right? That's his name, I think.
Yeah.
Denver lost somebody. Who did Denver lose? I know they lost somebody.
I think Justin Simmons is who they lost for at least 4 games.
Yeah.
So I mean, dude. Okay. So our first topic, I'm gonna lead into it. Actually, before we first talk about our first topic, let's go through the. Did you guys watch any college football games yesterday?
I did.
I didn't get a chance. I saw some highlights, but that's about it.
My Buckeyes on top, dropping 77 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is good.
The backup quarterback had over 100 yards passing. I think that's insane.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, I don't know his stats. I'm pretty sure he went. Here, actually, let me look up CJ Stroud. His stats were insane.
Are the new rankings out?
I don't think they come out till Tuesday.
Yeah. Let me see his stats yesterday. CJ Stroud yesterday against Toledo, he threw for 367 yards and 5 touchdowns.
And he probably only played like a half.
And he played a half, yeah. He played just about the first half.
Jesus Christ.
Insane. And Kyle McCord, who was the backup quarterback, had 115 passing yards and 1 touchdown.
Damn, that's impressive.
So
yeah. And obviously Ohio State is a team that's always like a contender to be in that championship playoff area, but and they're looking pretty legit right now. And as a Badger fan, I'm happy we got the victory. We got a little bit of a comeback yesterday, and I think from what I could tell, we looked pretty good. But it's going to be tough to take the Big Ten from Ohio State this year.
You say excited for next week?
No, God, no.
I know I am. Ohio State versus Wisconsin Badgers. That's going to be insane.
I will say at least Wisconsin can, if they're respectable against Ohio State, they could usually put up some kind of a competition against them. So hopefully we can at least make it a good game. But we'll have to see what happens here.
Right. Our defense was just terrible yesterday. We let up 21 points in the first half, and then we shut them out for the second half, but we shouldn't have let those 21. Literally, their quarterback had the most rushing yards in the game. Their quarterback single-handedly got them, 4 touchdowns, or 3 touchdowns. But moving away from college, let's talk about week 1 a little bit, some of the overview, and I think it only is right to start with the Monday night game, Seattle Seahawks versus the Denver Broncos.
That game, holy, what happened in Denver there? What?
Yeah, they.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash Seattle. I as a Packer fan, I don't really care. But either way, it's like Seattle looked like I don't know if they would look like a Super Bowl contender, but they looked like they're gonna hang. And
good.
Let's say they looked really good. Like I said, when you beat the team that's supposed to be like the new big bad, that's supposed to be the new super team, that's supposed to be, everyone's thinking they're gonna go to the Super Bowl and stuff, and you lose to who's arguably gonna be a top 5 worst team in the NFL, you might have some issues there. You might have some issues.
Right.
I wasn't sold on Denver being like a contender. They're gonna do good. They're gonna contend in the AFC West, which is pretty much all you can do at this point, considering the AFC West is a super giant.
Right.
But yeah, so when you lose to Seattle, oh boy, that's not a good start.
Yeah.
There.
Especially being in the NFC, being in such a easy, conference to be in. Seattle looked really good against the Broncos, who again, like you said, is supposed to be like the new super team because they're, they just got Russell, they have amazing wide receiver core, Jerry Jeudy and all them, and they got amazing running backs, Javonte,
and Gordon
Williams.
Yeah, what was up with the Butterfingers? For the
dude,
both of them?
I don't know what was up with them. Yeah, both fumbled at the 3-yard line around there.
Let's say they just looked like they did not even want to attempt to score. At any point, how many times did they get to the goal line? They got there 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh my god, it was like I said, all credit is where it's due to Seattle. They had a good game plan somehow to figure it out and keep them away from the end zone. So they did a really good job with that. But I don't know if it's because Seattle had really just played lights out or Denver just was not there at all. I'm not sure what happened there.
And I think this week's really gonna prove you guys are versing the 49ers, which that team is.
I think that we have a better chance this week, and let me tell you why. Because George Kittle isn't there. And so if George Kittle isn't playing, they only got Debo. Mm-hmm. Really, they only have and they have Trey Lance is starting now. So, and they lost to the Bears last week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I honestly, Seattle looks like they could probably go 2-0 here. I don't know if San Francisco just if you watch that game against the Bears, one, they just did not look good at all, and two, they basically needed Noah's Ark at that point because holy moly was Soldier Field just an absolute pile there. It was bad. Yeah.
And so I think if they have that excuse with Soldier Field was just basically a river. So they're like, we aren't supposed to play in that, and that's an excuse. But if they lose this week, there's no excuse.
No excuse.
Well, and I'm thinking too, obviously they had the excuse of we probably couldn't throw the ball that well and everything because we're you can't really grip it and stuff. But they didn't do anything on the ground either. They did okay, but it's you would think in a game like that, running the ball is probably going to be your best friend there, and they just I don't feel like it existed. I know Elijah Mitchell got hurt pretty early, but you would think you have Debo, you have Trey Lance, you have a good arsenal of running backs and stuff. Just run the ball, and they didn't do much of that, or it seemed like they didn't do much of it. I don't know. It just that game just kind of threw me through a loop there. So I don't know. It just seemed like Justin Fields looked like he was ready to play. Chicago just looked like they were ready to play, and San Francisco was just like, yeah, we're just gonna head back to California here. We're done.
Right.
Yeah.
And talking about more about Week 1 games, let's talk about the Packers game.
Let's not talk about the Packers game.
Hey, here's the thing. You know what's kind of funny? So there's a Bengals fan, a Packers fan, and a Seahawks fan. And the one fan whose team won, you would never guess.
That's true. I mean, honestly,
that is true.
I didn't expect. All I wanted was that one win. I'm not even kidding. On Monday, that's it. So I'm gonna be watching the rest for fun.
Honestly, that was a big game there. So yeah, congratulations there. That Packer game, that was they
hard to watch.
did not. It kind of was. Man. It kind of was like I just don't understand what the game plan was for. What was the idea of like trying to guard Justin Jefferson? Like, we have Jair Alexander, who's like arguably a top 3 cornerback in the league, and we're having him guard who like most of the time he just guarded the one side or whatever. And it's like, no, put him on Justin Jefferson.
Right.
We know what Justin Jefferson could do. Like. I was watching the game, and I think there was a point where, at one point, they lined up Preston Smith on Justin Jefferson, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell are you doing?" like I don't know. They need to figure something out there pretty quickly, because if they lose tonight against Chicago, it's gonna be there's already questions.
That's a big game for
Yeah, I'd say we're already getting a lot of questions, but if we don't win tonight, then there's
the main thing today is going to be, if you guys lose, the main thing today is going to be, Packers can't win without Devontae Adams.
Yep,
that's going to be the huge. Yeah, it's not good to be against the Bears this week. I don't think.
Well, if it ends up being a shootout, which I don't think it will be, I think hopefully Green Bay's defense can contain a little bit better. I don't really think they have too much to worry about in terms of receivers, but if it ends up being a shootout, it's going to be Green Bay's defense. Are they legit? And it's just going to be a whole bunch of question marks with that. And if it ends up being like a 14-13 win or loss or whatever, it's going to be Green Bay's offense cannot do anything without Devontae, and it's going to be all I'm going to hear about for like the rest of the season. And it's going to irritate the hell out of me. So,
well, and I think we are also in the same situation. We lost to the Steelers, so you think how we feel about hearing about that shit for the rest of the season.
Let's talk about the Steelers. So how many drugs did that game take?
That game was something, man. I know Soulbound's not here to gloat. That's what his number one thing he wanted to do when this week's podcast is he wanted to gloat and Steelers on top, shit like that, whatever. I'm glad he's in New Jersey.
All right, I will say though that game was just. We experienced it kind of last year when Green Bay played Cincinnati. It was just back and forth, and then people can't make a field goal to save their lives. But
that's what I was saying when I was watching a game. I was like, this is reminding me a lot of the Packers game last year. It was just a standoff, but you couldn't make a field goal to save our lives. And I think the thing that killed us there was our long. Funny enough, a long snapper can really affect a field goal, and no one really knows until it happens. And the long snapper snapped our last kick high, so McPherson couldn't kick it right. And then they also snapped it. I think he snapped it low, and then it got blocked. But that game was just on something, man. The fact that we made a drive though in the last minute and scored last second was still just insane. Burrow first half looked like he looked terrible. He looked awful.
He looked bad. I mean, don't give me. I'll give Pittsburgh all the credit in the world. Their defense looks. Now that TJ Watt is out, that's going to hurt a lot, obviously. But their defense looks legit. Like their defense looks like it's going to be an absolute monster this entire season. If only they had an offense to back them up. Like that was just. That's it. Their offense looks terrible.
I'll give credit when credit's due. That catch by Deontay Johnson, that was a thing of fucking beauty.
That was a great catch.
That was a thing of art. That catch literally put them in the lead. Or that catch won them the game, basically. And that was a beautiful fucking catch. So even though I hate the Steelers, fuck the Steelers.
Yep.
I'll give credit where credit's due. That was a beautiful catch. But Burrow looked awful in the first half. He had me going into the first half. Going into the second half, he had me -5 points in fantasy. -5.
Hey, same dude. I have him into one of my other leagues. He ended up getting me 18, which I was very surprised. But it's just like, you also have to look at it this way too. Like I said, Cincinnati looked fucking terrible that first half, and they still took it to the brink of overtime on the last second.
Yeah.
People will say, "Oh, can Cincinnati do this? Can Cincinnati do that?" Cincinnati, they may have lost the battle, but I think ultimately they're going to win the war because if you can overcome 5 turnovers by your quarterback, multiple sacks, I think Cincinnati and you will still almost win the game. Cincinnati is going to be a major threat this year, and that's something that I haven't said in a long, long time. But Cincinnati's going to be Cincinnati's going to be good this year. I'm just going to say right now, like once they get over this game and they start getting the ball rolling, Cincinnati's going to be really good. I don't think you need to really count this as like something that's going to shape your entire season, like the Denver game or the Packer game.
Right.
Yeah.
And I believe what Soup said is pretty true. He said usually every year the Steelers somehow squeak out one win against the Bengals. It happens every year, and it's just like we always go 1-1. It's just like a thing that happens every year. We always go 1-1. Last year didn't happen. We went 2-0 against the Steelers, but usually it's just like a 1-1 thing. And he's like, if there's a game that the Steelers are going to win against the Bengals, it's going to be this game, is what he said last week. And very much he was right.
They got to win this week.
The Steelers. Who are the Steelers versing this week?
Patriots.
I'll check it up here quick.
Patriots. Yeah.
Oh yeah, damn.
Actually, Patriots are favored to win. That's actually I didn't think they would be.
Really?
I don't think they look. I didn't look good last week.
They looked like shit last week.
They were getting the O-line is getting destroyed. Belichick benched Myers for. Bourne. He benched Bourne for behavior issues.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say he only played like 2 snaps, which is surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, it helped me out a little bit because I have Jacoby Myers and Devontae Parker, but I was just like, really, Kendrick Bourne. He seems like he's one of your better receivers. I understand, you got to do what you got to do, but you got to play your guy too.
Mac Jones was throwing weird balls. I'm not too sure what was going on last week.
Yeah, I'll say he had back spasms or something.
Oh yeah, at the end, right? Yeah, he got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit a lot.
Yeah, I will say too, like Miami looks like they're gonna also be a pretty good contender for at least a playoff push. Like they,
for sure.
Let's say I don't know if Tua will continue to be the main threat, but with the pieces they have around him, he better make that work.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about some of the games that happened last week, other than the depressing ones that happened. So, first game of the week was Bills vs. Rams. We covered that game a little bit last week. Josh Allen looked amazing.
True.
Matthew Stafford looked awful.
Yeah.
Saints versus the Falcons. Falcons gonna Falcon. They're gonna choke. Happens every time. They were up like
it's a fetish for them.
By like 3 touchdowns at the half. Or
yeah,
something
3 scores.
It was. Yep. I think it was like 23 to like 3 or something. Like. Basically
my friend texted me saying we're finally gonna win a game, and I texted him after the game saying what happened. He just didn't respond.
Damn. Oh my. I don't know what it is with the Falcons, man. They just love.
They
to
don't know how
choke
to keep
games.
the lead.
It's a fetish. It's a fetish for them.
It's like their defense gives up once they have so many scores, but they don't realize that they can't give up because they have enough time to fucking score after the half.
Like, it's literally only the Falcons, too. Like, there's no other team in the NFL that chokes leads as big as they do. Like, it's just like a thing at this point.
If you have a 3-score lead, dude, you should not be losing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no excuse. Like, everyone's been saying this for a long time. Like, I think right now Atlanta is cursed. Like, they've been cursed since the Super Bowl that they went to and they choked it, the 28-3. And now it's just almost every game. It's just like, are we gonna be able to hold on to this lead? And they just fuck it up. Like, it's bad. It's weird.
You want to hear something funny that happened? So during the Colts game, Matt Ryan, I think he threw for some record yardage. I forgot what it was, but he like passed a yardage record. The ball he threw was ball number 28-6, I think. 286 or 283.
Oh my god!
He threw ball, and it's like hung up. Ball number 283 as the ball he beat the record with.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Here it is. Ryan Paul Fame Ball has 28-3 reminder.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that is weird.
Did you guys talk about Carson Wentz last week?
I don't think so.
Let's see. He actually looked not terrible.
I feel like he always doesn't look terrible in the first game, and then as the season goes on, he gets progressively worse.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for Trevor Lawrence, man. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
He's such a talented quarterback, and
he got drafted to the wrong team, man.
Yeah. He just doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to. I mean, he has Christian Kirk.
They paid so much for him, bro. Oh my goodness.
It's just, I feel so bad for Trevor Lawrence. He needs to get the hell out of Jacksonville. Right when his rookie contract's up, get the hell out of there. Go to the Colts or something. Go to some other team that has inspiring talent. Maybe if he goes to like, I don't know, like the Panthers or something, maybe Baker shits the bed in the next few years. If he goes to the Panthers and the Panthers actually get a good draft and stuff like that, Panthers could be great if Trevor Lawrence goes there. So I think he could make a team good if he had good receivers.
You think he can make a team good like the Lions?
Honestly,
Lions are going to
let's say, but to be fair, Detroit, if they can figre it out, like honestly, they're having good drafts, man. Say they have pieces to make things work. They're just not there yet. They're just sitting there going, okay, well, we have all these players. Let's say we have all these players, but we're Detroit, so.
Right. And I know something also that happened last week was the St. Brown brothers both scored a touchdown in a matter of seconds from each other.
Yep. Which
is insane. I don't think that's ever happened before. The Niners and the Browns we talked about a little bit. Soldier Field was a mess, but the Browns squeaked out that win. Now all the Browns fans, or not the Bears, all the Bears fans now think they're going to be going to the Super Bowl. It's all right. Yeah. Bears fans need to calm down a little bit and realize that your field was a fucking mess, and that was probably a big advantage because you guys you probably are used to that weather. Chicago, Let's talk about the Panthers game. That was Panthers lost to the Browns 26-24 due to a last-second field goal from rookie kicker Cade York. York.
That was supposed to be Baker's game. That was supposed to be the revenge game. That was the game that we were all rooting for him for, and he fucked it up.
He didn't show up till the second half, really.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Like, you would think after all the things that you went through in Cleveland, and considering the fact you pretty much saved them from being, like, continuing to be an irrelevant team, and you're sitting there going, I'm going to get a chance to kick their ass, to do what I need to do, and you don't show up until the second half. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you have pieces. Like, you can't say, like, look at Baker Mayfield and go, well, he doesn't have anybody to throw it to, or he doesn't have a like an O-line or anything. I mean, granted, the O-line's still kind of shit, but they have pieces to the puzzle there to at least probably not to be a playoff team, but to do something, and they just
Right.
oh my god,
Like you
they
have
did not
Christian
look good.
McCaffrey, you have DJ Moore, like you have more than enough, people targets. You need to just run the ball now. Fucking give it to Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at their stats right now. McCaffrey ran 10 times. Why is he only running 10
not
times?
enough.
That needs to change.
Enough.
Let's say, and I say this as a guy that, like I said, for fantasy football, I want to stay away from McCaffrey just because of the injury history, and I understand like not wanting to overdo Christian McCaffrey, but 10 times at home it seems a little. You need to work on that a little bit,
Right.
and say because Baker's, like I said, I still think Baker is a good quarterback, not like top tier, but he's like a good middle of the pack quarterback.
Right.
Baker should, but with this team, Baker should not be the main reason you're going to win or lose a game. It should be whether or not you can actually get a running game figured out. Think about
this: the Browns have Jacoby Brissett, and on the other side, you got the Panthers with Baker Mayfield. Yeah. I think everyone wrote off the Browns when they put in Brissett. I don't think anyone thought the Browns were going to win.
Yeah,
at least not the first few.
Well, I thought that Cleveland would still do something just because they have such a great running game. Nick Chubb is just an animal, and Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt, if he gets traded or whatever, if he goes to a team and becomes a starter, he automatically becomes like damn near top 10 running back. But they other than Amari Cooper, they have no one to throw it to. So that's why I'm sitting there going like, yeah, Jacoby Brissett is gonna just get eaten alive, and there's no reason that
where are they playing
Carolina should lost that game. Cleveland, they are playing the Jets. So Cleveland's going to win that game.
Okay, yeah, there's no,
there's no doubt.
Lions versus the Eagles last week. That game was pretty interesting. 38-35, the Eagles barely squeaked out the win after the Lions came back.
Yeah. I'd say both those teams look like they're going to make some noise this year.
Yep.
And I got to feel for the Lions. I had the Lions winning this game. The Eagles have they had an insane draft. They had an insane offseason. They have an insane offense, but their defense just couldn't hold the Lions back. They couldn't hold Jared Goff back.
Say DeAndre Swift, I'm just looking at his stuff. He had 144 yards on 15 carries.
Yeah, that's insane.
And Jamal Williams had two tutties. So that's a really good game by Detroit there. I will say, like, I think Philadelphia, obviously they're gonna this is the make or break year for Jalen Hurts, but they are gonna lean heavily on that running game, and that running game looked good. Like it didn't matter who they threw in, pretty much. Someone was gonna get the rock and they were gonna score. Mm-hmm. And Detroit, they looked good. I'm going to say right now, I think Detroit is probably going to be third in the division. And they'll be behind Green Bay, Minnesota in the North. But I think Detroit has a good chance of at least pulling off a respectable record. I really legitimately think that.
Right.
Hope they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, them being the down, everyone's looking down on them, being the down team of every year so far, the past 5 years, other than the Bengals, I would say. I want the Lions to do good. I want them to do better. And, Aiden Hutchinson was an amazing draft. He's an amazing defensive end, I would know, because he smoked the fucking Ohio State Buckeyes, unfortunately.
Also, I legitimately think Hard Knocks. Like, everyone's cheering for Detroit because of Hard Knocks. Like, I think a lot of people are behind Detroit this year.
Yeah.
I'm excited, or I'm excited to see what happens until they play Green Bay, and then I'm just gonna be like, no, you go away.
Right. And then the Lions this week. Who do they verse? They verse the Commanders.
They are going up against the Commanders.
Interesting.
Man, I hope they win.
I do too. I'm cheering for them.
Same.
Next game, Ravens versus the Jets. The Ravens pull out a win, 24-9. That
Jets.
game was pretty boring.
I'd say that game was expected, pretty much. That game was 100% expected. I'm just looking at the stats right now, and I'm seeing that Joe Flacco threw for 309, and I'm just sitting there going, how?
Patriots versus the Dolphins. Yeah. Dolphins came up 20-7 against the Patriots. Tua looked like himself, I guess. I mean, there were some throws that looked pretty iffy, but
I was gonna say 270. Is that a new career high for him?
Yeah. So I mean, overall, not a bad game. Commanders 28-22 against the Jaguars. Again, I'll say what I said again about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I think we need a moment in silence already for Jacksonville's season. They had a good run, but it's over.
The W in the Commander stands for Wentz. I mean, everyone just knows that.
Wentz.
Here we go. Okay, this is actually probably one of the most interesting outcomes of last week. Colts versus the Texans, tying in overtime.
Yeah.
Tying in overtime.
Hey, I mean, good for the Texans. I don't know.
I think this is the first NFL tie since the Bengals and Eagles game a couple of years ago, right? Or did we
Detroit and Pittsburgh tied last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that game.
But no, like we literally almost had two ties, like almost like consecutively, because the Cincinnati game came down to the last second, and then that game ended like almost very like shortly before that or whatever. I'm gonna say right now, because I'm in a couple of these Survivor leagues where you have to pick a team to win, and then you don't get to pick them the rest of the year or whatever. I picked Indianapolis to win, and they pulled out the tie. What the hell?
What even happens in the league if they tie? Is it
it doesn't matter. They have to get the W.
Okay.
And so because I'm in a league with family, I picked Indy and they tied, so I'm basically out there. And then the other league I'm in, which is run by NC Sports Hawk, surprisingly, basically that one's based on strikes. So I already have a strike. I have a strike in week 1.
Isn't that the you have to put $100 to join in that one, right?
Yeah.
I remember he invited me to it. I'm like, I don't got that kind of money to join, but
yeah. I was like, hey, I'll join, and then I was like, Indianapolis. I wanted to pick. Like, to be fair, a lot of the teams that I was gonna pick, they just kind of went shit the bed. So I was like, okay, at least I'm the picks I was gonna make. It's like not like I was gonna win or lose either way, but that was the one I was probably the most confident in, like the entire week, because Houston, I think, is going to be terrible this year, and they just let Davis Mills do work on their defense, and I don't even know.
Right.
Indy, what the hell? Get it figured out.
It looks like Godwin and Julio were just ruled out.
Julio's out?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Julio's out.
I gotta change my fantasy. Hold on, give me a second.
Oh,
you already got injured. That's crazy.
How? What happened?
Knee last week. I mean, half the receiver core was missed practice or whatever.
Fuck. Okay.
Yep. I'm just saying it right now.
Alvin Kamara's out. Godwin's out. Julio Jones out. Everyone else should be good.
Fuck, dude. Do I put in Adam Thielen, Garrett Wilson, or Tyler Lockett?
Honestly, Thielen.
I was gonna say Lockett, but yeah, maybe. Well, who are the Vikings playing?
Minnesota. Oh, ooh.
Did they? I don't know about that.
I was thinking about Garrett Wilson because they're versus Cleveland, but
Garrett Wilson got 4 points last week.
I know he got awful last week. He got no target.
Wait, did they use Thielen last week at all?
No, Thielen also.
No, he had
6 points last week.
Honestly, I just got Lockett, to be honest with you. It's against the Bears. We know their offense.
No,
I mean their defense.
San Francisco.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. It's 49ers. we always win against the Well, I don't know about today, but we'll see, I guess. But usually we win against the 49ers.
All right, I'm trusting you on this. I'm putting in Lockett.
He has to make more points. If Thielen somehow gets 20 points, then you blame yourself for that. I don't know.
No, I'm blaming you for this, Kat. This is all going to be your fault. If Thielen goes off, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. You're the only person. I'm playing against my dad, dude. I need to beat my dad in fantasy. That's like every kid's dream. Is to beat their dad in fantasy football. My dad already has 17 points on me because he had Pat Mahomes as a quarterback.
No, trust me, I'm in the same boat as you right now because I'm trying to decide: do I start Lockett or do I start Chark or Jacoby Myers? And honestly, I'm going Jacoby with that one just because. Yeah, I just think that, like I said, I like Lockett. I like what he does, but it's really dependent on what Geno Smith ends up doing. If they keep going with this with the short game like they kind of did last week and just kind of pick them apart, then they're gonna do decent. But I also feel like he really relied heavily on the tight ends in that Denver game too. So that's why I'm like, maybe.
It's funny you say that. In our league, I picked up after watching the Seahawks game, I picked up Will Dissly.
Yeah, he might have a good year this year because the past few years Russell really hasn't thrown to tight ends. He's usually just thrown to Lockett and Metcalf.
Yeah, well, I mean, other than Jimmy Graham, when he was basically on the end of his career, he hasn't had a tight end, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know to go with because in our league, I don't know if I should put in Will Dissly or Tyler Higbee because they're playing the Falcons. The Rams.
Is Higbee questionable?
Ooh.
No, Higbee's playing.
Oh, he's playing.
Yeah, he's healthy. But I don't know if we put in him because I know the Rams are playing the Falcons, and the Falcons are pretty stinky.
Falcons suck, so yeah. I mean, I would say that's fair.
Yeah, and Kittle and I have Rondale Moore, Kittle, and Higgins on our fantasy league. And
the one thing I'm worried about with the Seahawks is their second half game was non-existent pretty much last week. I mean, I think everyone saw that. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, they can't keep. I mean, you can keep going short, but it's not going to get anywhere if you keep doing those consecutively. You got to have at least one deep shot. We didn't have any deep shots last week.
True.
Mm-hmm.
We were just handing it off to the running back. We were throwing it like maybe 5-6 yards. It's just that was the repeat offense that we had, and I hope we take some kind of shot today. I guess we'll see that.
With Pete Carroll leading the way, I'm pretty sure it's going to stay the same either way. So
yeah, probably. Kenneth Walker's playing today.
Oh, he's back now?
Yeah, Kenneth Walker is in today.
Oh, good deal.
So we'll see how that goes, I guess.
Yeah.
Chargers versus the Raiders. Chargers won 24-19 against the Raiders. I think that was one of the surprising. I'm pretty sure the Raiders were favored that game, if I remember right.
I had the Chargers winning that game, and I knew it was going to be close. But I'm going to say, excuse me. And say Justin Herbert is another one of those guys that's gonna probably be a candidate for MVP this year. He yes, they lost that Kansas City game, but he looked good. And with busted ribs and everything, Herbert is gonna blow the league wide open with this or with his play. I'm a Chargers fan. I think they're gonna do good either way.
Right.
Also, my boy Devontae Adams. Thank you for the big game there.
Got you some points there.
Yeah.
It is now raining, and 15-mile-per-hour winds are going throughout Seattle or throughout San Francisco's home stadium.
Oh boy.
Levi.
Oh my god.
So now they're playing another game in the rain.
Sorry to bring this back up, B-Rad, but Vikings versus the Packers.
Yeah. I will say this too. It pains me to say this, but Minnesota is going to be a hell of a team this year.
Agreed.
I legitimately think that. I don't know if they're going to put up the same numbers like they did against the Packers like they're going to do all year. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but Justin Jefferson is a monster of a player. And as Dalvin Cook can continue to produce, I think they have a really good shot. Also, I'm going to say to Za'Darius, I'm sorry we did you dirty like that, but you didn't need to take it out on us like that.
Also, who was it? I don't know if it was Sammy Watkins. The deep pass, Aaron. And it's all over.
It was Christian Watson. That was the rookie. Yeah, it was the rookie. That was the
worst drop pass I think I've ever seen. That was
my God.
Awful. I don't even know how he dropped it. He caught it and then almost looked like he like purposely stopped catching it.
And
then
the sad part is
Rodgers was pissed.
And the sad part is that play pretty much set the tone the entire way for Green Bay. If we had gotten that, Green Bay would not have looked that bad. But with that drop, it just seemed like everything else of that game just went to shit.
Right.
And oh God, that was.
Moving on.
I hated
that. I guess they probably don't want to talk more about that. I get it.
No, that's not.
Next game was probably, in my opinion, other than the Seattle game, was the biggest upset of the week. The Giants beating the Titans 21-20.
I enjoyed that game.
That was insane of a game to watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Saquon looked amazing.
He looked like peak Saquon. He looked crazy that game, and fantasy owners were really happy with Saquon that week too.
Yeah.
He went off. But yeah, unfortunately for the Titans, I know one of my friends, Sam or Whiplash is a Titans fan, and we're in a group chat together, and just the progressive of like him reacting to the game was just so funny to me. Like obviously he's not gonna think it's funny because they lost, but he at the day of the game he at the very beginning said, what did he say? He said, yeah, he was like talking about how like Derrick Henry's amazing, how they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. He said Titans scored flawlessly first drive. To the Super Bowl we go. And then like 4 hours later, Fat Randy Bullock missed the field goal. And thank God we have Evan McPherson and not Randy Bullock anymore. Randy Bullock was a Bengal. And he lost us 3, not 1, not 2, 3 game-winning field goals. If he lost us more games than any like other kicker in the league, and so we're like, get him off our roster, and gave him the Titans. Same thing in Tennessee.
I will agree that Randy Bullock's a terrible kicker. He should not be on any team except for maybe Jacksonville or something. But I will say this because I'm just looking at some of the stuff right now. This game to me, other than Ryan Tannehill throwing a bunch of interceptions in that game. Not in the Giants game, but the game. And it reminded me a lot of the divisional game when they played Cincinnati and lost. Because as I'm looking at the stuff here, they sacked Daniel Jones 5 times. They also got an interception out of him, and they had a lot of like their fumbles or they picked up a couple fumbles off of them as well. There is no way on God's green earth that Tennessee should have even allowed the Giants to come close, let alone win. Like I said, Saquon was a beast in that game. He carried the team on his back.
Right.
But you have Derrick Henry, and he did not have a great game. He only had 82 yards on 21 carries. That's not good. But
it's terrible.
But like, how in the hell are you not like? How is Tennessee not moving the ball like just up and down the field? I legitimately could not. Before they cut Blake Martinez, I at least had somebody to say, "Oh yeah, I recognize that name," but I could not tell you for the life of me who was on the Giants defense anymore.
Right.
And you got like the Tennessee did not look good in that game.
I'm sure Tennessee's missing AJ Brown for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying and then look what he did in Philly. AJ Brown had 10 receptions for 155 yards.
Yeah. So, you don't trade that kind of talent and expect your new guys to do all that.
Right.
I still find that funny that Treylon Burks, when he got drafted, was the NFL likeliness was AJ Brown.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we could have had AJ Brown and AJ Brown, but then we traded AJ Brown, and now we have knockoff AJ Brown.
Right. Chiefs versus the Cardinals. We know the Chiefs played the Chargers this week and beat the Chargers. But last week, they swept the Cardinals 44-21. Kyler Murray.
Go ahead.
It was a double.
I'll say it for you.
Dude.
I'll say it was double XP.
It was a double XP weekend. That's what it was. And the fact that it actually was a double XP weekend and he lost is so funny to me.
Yeah.
It didn't help things. It didn't help things.
I wonder how it is now, because you know how like old Call of Duty games all are like infinite double XP now. I wonder if the Cardinals are just never gonna win ever again.
Yeah. Kyler just hops on a different COD game every weekend.
I'll say he's probably cramming out the beta, so that's probably not going to.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Hey, if they're playing today, they're losing.
Yeah. But I will say for that game, I expected Kansas City to win. I did not expect Kansas City to absolutely crush Arizona like that.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, me either. I didn't expect them to.
What the Cardinals look like is what they look like in that playoff game that they had against. I think it was the Rams.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. Like they didn't connect on anything. I think they got one touchdown and maybe one field goal.
Yeah. No, they got their ass kicked.
It was just bad. Yeah. I don't have Chandler Jones anymore on defense. I don't even know who they have on defense anymore either.
Buddha and Simmons, basically.
Oh, they got Buddha, yeah. And then you got, obviously on offense, you don't have Hopkins till week 6 or 7 now.
Yeah.
So now you got rid of Kirk. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Arizona. I had Arizona in the beginning of the year as a potential playoff team, and right now I'm regretting that decision.
Right. Then the final game the 8:00 game last week, the Buccaneers versus America's team, the Cowboys.
It wasn't a good game to watch. What a terrible game.
That game was boring. Holy shit, that game was boring. I remember
it was just field goals.
God, this game was so boring. But
let's say also I think we're pretty much all in agreement right now. Dallas' season is shot, right? There's no way they're going to do anything.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not going anywhere. Cooper Rush.
I hope we run through the Cowboys today. I hope we absolutely make them suffer. I hope so.
That's right.
Trayvon Diggs he didn't look that good either last week.
Yeah, he didn't look exceptional. I still think he's pretty good.
He's definitely still good, yeah.
He's a stud, but...
Well, that's the thing that they've been talking about with Diggs for a long time. Yes, he's a ball hawk, but he gets burned a lot, and he's just gonna have a hell of a year. I'm gonna say right now if they don't figure it out. But yeah, I think Dallas is done. I think they can't figure out a running game, and now you don't have a quarterback. Your defense is good but not great. I don't know.
Amari Cooper. That was one of your weapons.
Yeah. That trade still blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the Monday night game, the Broncos, Russell Wilson's revenge game. The amount of times they mentioned Russell Wilson's name during that broadcast has to
Bro, I can't believe it. Yeah, they gotta sue them or something. I don't know.
They showed him and said his name maybe averaged every 4 or 5 seconds. They said Russell Wilson's name. And their whole segment was their whole segment was about his Broncos country. That's right. And then the whole thing was centered around Russ. And then they lost to the Seahawks. What does that say about the Broncos in a whole? What does that say about the Broncos? And I know Geno Smith went out there and played like Tom Brady 2.0. All right, Geno Smith went out there. Yeah. They just did check down passes. They ran the ball a few times. He looked good. Geno Smith looked like it was like
his best game since he was probably in college.
It might be because he went against Russell Wilson. Maybe he went off because he was like, fuck Russell Wilson. I've been behind this guy forever. Fuck this dude. I'm going to beat him.
Honestly, he had a game last year when Russell was on that finger injury against the Jaguars. I just thought he did good because he was against the Jaguars. Because the Jaguars last year were terrible. And he did it again Monday. And I was like, all right, well, maybe.
And true. Yeah. That one game, you got to feel for Drew Lock. That game solidified Drew Lock sitting the bench the entire season.
Yeah, it definitely did.
And you got to feel for him. He got traded just to be on the bench. It's unfortunate.
Oh, we weren't sure if Drew Lock was going to continue to have like a good shot anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I said, I feel for the guy, but also like you had an off season to prove your worth. Like you had like an entire off season to prove your
Well, they
worth.
gave him the whole last preseason game, and he threw 4 interceptions. I mean,
yeah,
in preseason.
And when you lose to Geno Smith in competition, like a quarterback competition, like I said, Geno Smith had a great game against Denver, but when you lose that quarterback competition, you kind of earned your spot, my friend.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think everyone, me included, was surprised when Geno Smith was named the starter because I think everyone assumed.
Oh,
even
same.
in my TikToks that I did for the Neutral Zone, go check out our TikTok, by the way. I'll link in the description. When I did our TikToks, like it would be like the top 5 starting quarterbacks, and I'd get the Seahawks. I'd always do Drew Lock number 5 every single time. Every time I got Seahawks, I'd say Drew Lock number 5. I don't think anyone predicted Geno Smith would start. No one did.
No.
Everyone thought it was going to be Drew Lock for sure. And ended up not. And now it's probably the best choice, in my opinion. Geno Smith came out there and looked fucking amazing. So, I mean, good on the Seahawks, honestly. But
pretty much, yeah.
Those were all the Week 1 games. So now I guess we can go to our Week 2 predictions, which Week 2 we can't predict the Chiefs and Chargers game because that game already happened. We can talk about that game real quick. Chiefs won 27-24. Jay Herbo at the last quarter basically gave up. He had a really bad rib injury, and he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm a big dog, I'm gonna stay in, and I'm gonna play through this fucking injury because I'm a fucking beast. Played through the injury, and you could tell he was hurt when he was throwing the ball. He didn't look like himself because you could tell he was hurting. You could tell if anyone got near him, he'd throw the ball away.
That last drive that they had before they got in the end zone, it was a 3rd and 3, and he could have ran the ball, and he just kind of chucked it like at the ground.
I saw that.
But then the next play, he pulls off like a ridiculous, like a dime of a pass for like 30 or 40 yards or something like that. It's like, okay, I like this. I see you.
And I remember watching that game. I remember seeing like there was a huge open space. He could have ran, maybe got a couple extra yards, but I'm not going to try, man. My ribs are too hurt. I don't want to. I respect that. Like, you don't want to hurt yourself even more. The one thing that kind of like annoys me about this game, though, is Justin Herbert got so much praise, probably more than any praise I've seen, for losing to the Chiefs than we ever got for beating the Chiefs twice.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kind of annoyed me as a Bengals fan, because we're like watching this, everyone's like, "Oh, Justin Herbert." I love Justin Herbert. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great quarterback, and I love the Chargers. I love the team that he's on. But I feel like they got so much praise for losing, and then we beat them twice, one at home during the playoffs in the AFC Championship, and everyone still shits on us. Like, throw me a bone, man. Like,
well, I think it's probably just because Cincinnati obviously did. They did gangbusters last year. They went to the Super Bowl, which is absolutely incredible. I think we just expected the Chargers to charger it up, so we weren't sure if they were actually going to have like a legitimate chance of winning. And they looked like they were. And then that pick 6, and they just fell apart after that. But I think we were just all expecting the Chargers to charger it up.
Pick 6.
That was a dumb pick 6.
Did you guys see what happened?
Yeah, that was like didn't Everett just kind of
Everett was trying to get out of the game, and they just ran the offense so fast that he couldn't get out, and then he didn't run the route that Herbert thought he was going to run, and just ended up in the defender's hands.
Because he was before that play started, he motioned. He said, "Yo."
They don't lose that game without that. They take out Everett.
He said, "Take me out." Like he even waved. Like you can see him before the play. He waved.
He waves and everything.
And then Herbert's like, "Get on the line." So he's like, "Oh fuck, all right." Got on the line. He basically waddled to the line, went and then turned to the left when he was supposed to turn to the right, and 99-yard pick 6.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
It's bad.
Yeah, that was.
I think what you do there is you just run the ball in there, and then you let him get out, and then the next play you bring in someone else. I don't think anyone saw that he was waving to take him out. Yeah, I don't think the whole sideline saw him waving.
I just don't think anyone noticed. That's why.
But I don't understand. Like, why were they running a hurry up in that? Like, I just don't. It blows my mind. I
think there was enough time. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, like it's like you threw it early in the fourth quarter or something like that, or I don't remember.
Not sure if they committed a penalty and they're just trying to get rid of it. I don't know.
I don't know, but it's like why even try to do the hurry up? Like, you don't need to. Just take a minute, and say get your bearings figured out. I'm granted it's Brandon Staley and they didn't want to do the timeout thing that cost them a postseason spot last year, but take a minute to figure it out. Like that literally cost you the game.
Yeah,
I don't know. The Chargers are going to find a way to charger it up. I'm going to call it right now.
Right. Now getting into some of our upcoming games. We'll start with 1 p.m. games, which are happening in an hour from now. First game, Panthers versus the Giants. Who do y'all think is going to... do you think Baker's going to show up against the Giants? Do you think Saquon's going to absolutely steamroll them like they did the Titans? What are we feeling?
If Saquon doesn't get hurt, I think the Giants win.
I think if Baker can figure his shit out, I think Carolina has a chance.
Mm.
But I'm not confident in that pick at all.
I'm so like they're both teams that were... I guess Panthers were supposed to win last week, and the Giants were supposed to lose last week. So it's kind of like a weird combination bringing these two to verse each other. Again, like what you said, I think if Baker shows up and they actually hand it off to Christian McCaffrey, I think the Panthers can squeak it out. But if Saquon stays healthy the entire game and Danny Dimes shows up, I think the Giants also have a very big possible chance to win this game as well.
True.
Because if the Giants can beat the Titans, the Giants can very, very much well beat the Panthers, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Steelers versus the Patriots.
Ooh, that's a hard one to pick, to be honest with you.
These teams are so similar, in my opinion. I think these teams are very, very similar in skill. Steelers are without TJ Watt and without... I don't think... Is Najee playing? I don't know if he's playing or not.
I think Najee's okay. I think he's in.
He's okay. Okay, because I know he was...
Is Hayward good?
Hayward.
I think he was. I don't think he was hurt, but...
I thought he went out for... maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know.
TJ Watt's a huge part of their defense. I would say he is a huge part of their defense.
Oh,
TJ Watt being gone is going to make a huge difference, but I still think the Steelers got a talented line. Personally, being a Bengals fan, I don't want the Steelers to win. I always, I'm praying on the Steelers' downfall anytime that I can get. But, I don't know, the Patriots just didn't look like... They just didn't look like a winning team to me last week. It just...
See, it's in Pittsburgh?
It is, it's at Pittsburgh.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
I'm going to give it to the Steelers.
Let me tell you, so the New York Giants, by the way, are favored to win against the Panthers.
Oh, okay.
This game, New England is favored to win against the Steelers.
All right.
I'm
going to go with the Steelers.
I'm intrigued by this. Like I said, this is probably it's kind of funny because we're sitting there with the Carolina Giants game, like we're on opposite ends of it because both teams are shit. But and say it, and this game is gonna be like, oh, these guys are both like at least potential playoff contenders. Yeah. And we're having such a hard time. I'm gonna go New England on this just because I feel like their defense is gonna just eat that offense alive.
Yeah, I agree.
I almost feel like it's gonna be like Pittsburgh's as good as Pittsburgh did on defense last week against Cincinnati. I think New England is gonna do on Pittsburgh this week because Pittsburgh still doesn't have an offensive line, and Belichick he strives for games like this. So
Patriots don't have an O-line either, though.
They don't, but it's gonna be like both.
TJ Watt. That's the thing. If they had TJ
that's true.
Watt,
also, there's no
completely changed the story in my opinion.
Oh,
TJ
absolutely.
Watt was in, I would say Pittsburgh because
honestly, I think Bourne's back this week too, so maybe the Patriots do win this one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick the Patriots to win this one.
I have a feeling that I have a feeling a quarterback or a running back is going to die in this game. So
yeah.
This one's pretty interesting. Buccaneers versus the Saints. Jameis Winston's revenge game.
Yeah. That was the game that he got injured.
Well, the Saints have Michael Thomas back.
Yeah.
But they don't have Kamara now.
But they got Mark Ingram. That's not good enough for me. I'm going to go New Orleans on that one.
And then you got the Bucs with a whole injured receiver core, pretty much. And so I'm gonna say the Bucs anyway, just because they lost them. I think they lost every matchup against the Saints last year, so I'm just gonna say Bucks.
Yep. They've lost every
Maybe
game.
they'll
Against,
win.
they've lost every game against New Orleans since Tom Brady's been in Tampa.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it because I feel like eventually they got to win one. But I guess I'll just go for the Bucks this week.
Say the Bucks are favored to win this one,
I'll go New Orleans.
but I'm gonna go New Orleans as well.
Yeah, I feel like New Orleans is a good pick.
Yep.
I think J-Bo came out last week. He looked a little iffy and then came back and won them the game in the second half against the Falcons. And he looked really good doing it, I would say. So I think the Saints are definitely going to pull out. Especially, you guys see the Bucks, their whole receiver core. Almost all the receiver core is out. Almost all of them. Like Julio Jones is, what's it called? Like it's a huge dent.
Yeah, because they're pretty much just Mike Evans and Russell Gage, like at best.
Godwin and Julio are out, so
and Lenny, playoff Lenny.
Yeah, I'll say, but I even then, like Tom Brady has not looked good. Like he did not like he had an okay game, but he did not have a Tom Brady game last week.
Right.
And he's really starting to show like he maybe could have stayed retired.
I think I'm gonna wait a few weeks to say that, just because usually first games anyway are kind of just rough for most teams.
Mm-hmm.
True,
but you're right though. He didn't play like he usually does.
Yeah.
Looks like he has Mike Evans, Gage, and Fournette today. Everyone else is gone.
Right.
Damn.
Then we got the Jets and the Browns. Stinky versus Stinky. Stink versus Stink.
Browns win.
I think the Browns win this one. Actually,
yeah, Browns win. I don't see how the Jets win at all. I just can't.
With Joe Flacco leading the way.
Yeah. Maybe Brissett throws Gardner's way. I don't know.
Here's my thing about the Jets. The Jets were predicted to absolutely get demolished by the Ravens last week. They were predicted to lose by 30 plus. They didn't. They kind of they stayed in that game a little bit. You know, they only lost by I think like a touchdown, like two touchdowns.
No, it was 24-9, I think.
Yeah. So like they weren't completely out of that game at all against the Ravens too. So I might go with the Jets with this one. I'm not gonna lie, I might go with the Jets this one.
I'm gonna go.
I'll say Jets if Zach Wilson is playing, but
oh yeah, if Zach Wilson were playing, it's a whole other thing.
Browns for sure, in my opinion, the Browns are gonna win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cleveland on that one.
Okay.
But again, that's another game I'm not confident in.
Right.
Yeah.
Just talking about the Ravens. Now we got the Ravens versus the Dolphins. With Baltimore, or by the way, Cleveland's favored to win that game. Dolphins versus the Ravens. Baltimore is favored to win, of course. I think everyone sucking Baltimore off lately, but again, like bringing back last week's game against the Ravens and the Jets. The Jets were able to kind of hold themselves in that game. The Jets were winning at one point in that game too. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are huge upgrade to the Jets. I think the Dolphins might squeak this one out.
I think Dolphins take this.
I think the Dolphins squeak this one out.
This is a prove-it game for both teams. It's whether or not they can go up against like legitimate competition and do good. I think because Lamar Jackson's still playing for that bag, I'm gonna go Baltimore on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, you gotta also remember they got rid of Marquise Brown last.
And he threw 2 touchdowns to Duvernay. So he
he still has Andrews also.
Exactly. I think and he's got Bateman. I think I couldn't even tell. Do they still have Howard and Jones Miami for cornerbacks?
I don't know if Xavier Howard's still there.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
I'm not sure
either. But either way, I think I gotta go Baltimore. I just think they're, like I said, with Lamar like trying to get that contract. I think this is gonna be a game that he knows is gonna be one of those prove it games. I think Baltimore's gonna take this one.
I'm gonna go with Miami just for the fact that they have the receivers. Pretty much, they have good receivers, and I mean Tua is Tua though. So
yeah,
right. I think I'm going to go Dolphins. Obviously, I have AFC North bias. I think that's pretty clear. Every AFC North team I picked to lose so far, other than most likely going to be my Bengals. But I think the Ravens will. I think this game's going to be close. I think this game will be very close. I think it might be won by a field goal, maybe even a last-second touchdown. I definitely think the game is going to be close, but I do think the Dolphins might squeak this out. They beat the Baltimore Ravens last year 22-10, I think, 22-11.
Yeah, but that was when they were like in their downward spiral.
They were in a terrible injury frenzy there. But I still think that gives them what they need to beat them this year, and I think Tua is going to throw bombs to Tyreek, and I think they're going to win out this one. I think it's going to be close, but I think the Dolphins win this one out. Colts versus the Jaguars. Indy is favored to win, of course, because it's the Jaguars.
I'm going with the Jaguars.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say I'm
rooting for the underdog.
I'll go for the Colts. I want the Jaguars to win. But I think the Colts are going to win.
Matt Ryan didn't even look that good to me last game.
Well, he had almost 400 yards, so that's pretty impressive considering that. Crap, I forgot they're missing Pittman.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, so you got 400 yards and nothing to show for it.
Well, true.
Oh, and they tied the Texans.
Yeah, they tied. Yeah.
I was gonna say if they didn't tie, that's what throws me off. But
the Texans.
That's why I'm just gonna go with the Jaguars.
I think I might go Jags the game too. Honestly.
I'm gonna go Indy, but so that tie is gonna piss me off.
Yeah, I might go Jags this game too. Underdogs. Might bet on it. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me look at the betting on this game because I bet Indy's favored by like a lot. Let me see.
Maybe
Indy's favored by -3.
Oh, that ain't bad.
So not terrible, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna bet on it. The Commanders versus the Lions. Washington is favored to win.
I'll pick a Commanders. I don't.
I'm gonna Detroit.
I want the Lions to win, but
I want the Lions to win. Yeah.
I think the Commanders are gonna win. I really hope Wentz bombs it down to Terry McLaurin every single play.
Yeah, they got Wentz and Terry.
Rack up the freaking fantasy points. That'd be freaking amazing.
Well, you have to think too, though. He's going to be. Darius Slay's in Philly. Never mind. Scrap that. Scrap it. I'm still gonna go Detroit, though. I think just having Campbell on their sideline and trying to figure out they're gonna get. I think they're gonna get the win that they need. Mm-hmm. Either that or Campbell's probably gonna take Carson Wentz's kneecap. So I'm not entirely sure.
Right. Here we go. First game of one of our teams. Seahawks versus the Niners. San Francisco, surprisingly, is favored to win this one.
I'm going Seattle. After last week, I think we have a fair shot. I'm not sure how we're going to do against the 49ers, but they don't got Kittle, and that's it.
I honestly might go Seahawks as well. And the thing is, the Niners, I just don't know if it's because Soldier Field was a puddle, but Trey Lance did not look like that guy. Trey Lance is too busy throwing dollars.
Yeah, he did not look good.
He's too busy wasting money at the strip club to practice. So obviously it's a joke, but
yeah.
But I don't know. The Seahawks looked pretty good. Geno Smith looked pretty good. Their tight end, what was his name again? The dude I picked up on fantasy, Will Dissly. Dissly looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Obviously, I'm biased, but I'm picking Seattle.
Yeah. I'm gonna say San Francisco because I honestly think this is going to be the make or break game for Trey Lance. If he doesn't show up and do anything, I think Garoppolo goes in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they probably
but I know the conditions aren't looking good right now in San Francisco, but it's in San Francisco. He's going to have the home crowd behind him, and San Francisco's defense is still really good. So I'm going to go San Francisco, but I don't know if it's going to be by much, though.
San Francisco cannot get away with the rain. They can't get away from it. The rain follows them wherever they go. They go to Soldier Field and it downpours. They go to San Francisco and it's starting to downpour. They can't escape the rain. It's almost like
I think
They're doomed to drown.
They're almost
I think when you get like an unexperienced quarterback, if you're Trey Lance right now, you probably don't have that many games under the rain in the NFL.
Right.
Yep.
And that's going to hurt him, I think, again, if it is raining.
Yeah,
over
Seattle's
there.
known for the rain, so they're probably practicing.
Yeah, they practice all the time in the rain.
Yeah.
This next one, I think this one's pretty easy to probably guess who's going to win. Rams versus Falcons. LA's
Rams.
I'm picking Rams. I'm just not even.
I'm going Rams. If the Falcons do somehow win this game, I will be so happy. You have no idea.
I don't even think the Rams will win a game if they lose to the Falcons this season.
Screw
Agreed.
the Rams. Screw their Super Bowl. Screw Aaron Donald specifically. Screw that.
What was up with Stafford last week or 2 weeks ago?
Took the bum pill or something. I don't know.
And say he
So, I
shit
don't
the
know.
bed pretty much.
I think
It looks like he didn't throw it at all. Like he's just like throwing little like 5-yard passes and that's it. And even then, he got like drowned out before they got to the first down marker every time.
right.
Well, there's a major difference between Buffalo's defense and the Falcons' defense. So
That's true as well. Yeah, that's very true.
I'm gonna go the Rams by a lot.
Yeah, Rams.
Me too. Texans versus the Broncos. Denver is favored to win.
Bro, could you imagine if the Texans win this shit? You know, Revive would be on suicide watch. I'm not kidding.
Could you imagine if the Falcons managed to tie again?
Oh my
Yikes.
god.
Again with the Broncos. They tie with the Broncos again. Could you imagine?
I'm gonna say right now, if Denver doesn't win this game, I legitimately think Nathaniel Hackett will get fired.
I know. I generally think so too. There's no
There's
way.
something
Not
he
after
did
last week.
game.
He
Last
has
week
no
there was
break.
something
Yeah.
else. There's
Yeah.
some things how
Last week was the most horrendous. That was the worst fourth quarter I've ever seen by a coach.
Yeah,
That was that 2-minute drill or whatever, or it was a 4-minute drill.
They didn't even
basically.
time out. Yeah, it was bad. It was just
That
so
was
bad.
horrible.
Yeah, they never
Horrendous.
called a timeout, and like I was watching the Manning cast because that's the only thing I watch on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
and
think
you
the
just see
Manning cast
Peyton
is-
Manning.
Yeah, you see Payne hitting that
just-
timeout.
He timed out. Someone counted. They said he timed out
62
like 62
times.
times.
62
Dude, like, why,
times.
why are you taking a 64-yard field goal when you got a quarterback for you paid a lot of money for that quarterback too to stay there for
draft
5 years.
capital. And
Yeah,
draft capital.
you guys, you pretty much gave him a lot, and you don't trust Russell Wilson with a few yards. I mean, I'd rather do that than a 64-yard field goal.
Yeah.
It's 5 yards. 5 freaking
Yeah,
yards.
5 yards, and that's honestly, bro. Even if we missed the 5-yard target, I still think you go with Russell Wilson regardless, because I don't see how you don't just try to give it to Russell.
The odds seem better to actually make that 4th down conversion than they do to make a 64
Yeah, exactly.
field
Yeah.
goal.
You gotta have Tucker for that kind of shit.
Dude, I love Brandon
Especially in
McManus.
Seattle.
Love Brandon McManus, but
Yeah, in Seattle.
Brandon McManus can't make 64-yard field goals when it's last second. You got to get him up a little more. You got to give him a few yards.
Let's say
They needed Rodrigo.
He has a leg though. He was pretty damn close.
Sign Rodrigo from
Sign Rodrigo.
the
Colts
sexiest
dropping
player in the
Rodrigo.
NFL.
Dude, revived gamer, dude. We think so.
Dude,
That's
Revive's
the whole
homeless
joke.
now, dude.
B-Rad, we keep saying that Rodrigo Blankenship is revived because they look like fucking.
They literally look so similar.
They look so alike.
that does make sense.
So,
But I'd say-
Yeah, no,
well, to be fair, Rodrigo is the sexiest player in the NFL.
oh, by far, by
True.
far. But
I think
feel
if the
bad for them.
Texans lose, I know if the Texans win tonight, I can't wait to see the reaction on Twitter, man. That's just gonna be
if
so
the
funny.
Texans win, Revive's not going to be on Twitter for months.
No, yeah, he won't be
Yep.
on Revive. Yeah, it's not. Part of me wants the Texans to win, so I'm gonna pick the. Honestly, no, but the Broncos definitely are gonna win this shit.
No, if Revive hears you pick the Texans, he's going to DM you and be like,
I know. I'm picking the Broncos for that reason.
I'm picking the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going Denver.
I think Russ is
Russ is good. Like Russ is a good quarterback.
Nathaniel Hackett's going to figure his shit out. I think Russ is going to
Yep.
yell at him and be like, bro, trust me. I'm a good quarterback. You spent so much money on me. Fucking trust me. And I think it's going to happen this week, and I think they're going to blow the Texans out.
I'm
definitely.
going Denver, but I am rooting for General Mills. My captain.
Then we got the Cardinals versus the Raiders. Las Vegas is favored to win. I think Vegas wins this based off of
I'd say, yeah.
Call of Duty beta weekend. Give her an applause
Yep.
for that.
I'm honestly gonna ride that. I'm gonna go with Raiders on this one, just because Arizona looked so fucking bad.
They look
last week.
terrible.
I really hope Kyler Murray doesn't show up to the stadium with his Call of Duty headset. I hope that he actually shows up willing to play and give me some fantasy points. I hope he shows up and gives me some fantasy points so I can beat my dad in fantasy. That's the one thing I'm asking for this week. Please, Kyler, please show up, dude. Please. I'm writing on you. Dude. Patrick Mahomes didn't have that good a game. He only got 17
Actually,
points.
the Raiders actually have Chandler Jones now, so that's
true.
Oh hell!
they took him from the Cardinals.
I just got a notification from Bleacher Report. Jameis has 4 fractures in his back.
What?
Who?
Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Wow.
According to Jay Glazer, Winston is playing through a lot of pain today, but has extra padding to protect the area.
He's playing for that?
I don't think you should play. I don't think you should play with 4 fractures in your back.
He's playing with 4 fractures? What the fuck is this man?
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay in that game.
Yeah, definitely Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm changing the Tampa Bay. I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm changing the Tampa Bay now. What the fuck?
Did I say Tampa? I don't even know.
Oh
If
my
I didn't say Tampa,
God.
switch me.
Oh my God. That's
Holy
insane.
moly!
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's expecting the Saints to win now.
No.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's awful. Bengals versus the Cowboys. I'm praying that we destroy them, that we blow them out. Don't even let them get a point. I'm praying that's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, they have Cooper Rush, so anything's possible. But I'm praying. I'm
gonna
I think
say
Bengals win.
I was gonna say if Dallas had Dak, it would be a tighter game. I'd still pick Cincinnati regardless, but I literally, as we're doing this, I'm doing like a pick'em league right now where I have to put points on these games. And of the 16 games, I'm putting 14 on on Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's going to crush them.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
Yeah.
like I said, Dallas has Micah Parsons on defense, and that's pretty much it. Like they don't really have too much else.
Right.
And I think Burrow, as long as he can get over whatever the hell turnover soup he ate last week or whatever.
Yeah.
But even then, like he still had a decently solid game of yards. And Jamar Chase had 129 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think they're going to eat him alive.
Burrow, last week, there was a reporter that said that Burrow was the last one in the locker room. He sat there on the bench with full pads on, helmet still on, everything still on, an hour after the game, and he's just sat there staring. He just didn't say a word. He just sat there and stared for an hour. I think this is Joe Burrow's revenge game. I think he's going to go out there and show everyone, yeah, last week it was not my best performance. I think Burrow not playing the preseason really hurt him. Yep. I think this is his first time playing off of his appendix. I don't think the appendix affected him at all. I just think he just wasn't in his groove, and I think after he sat there on that bench for an hour, that means danger for the Cowboys. That means a mad Burrow is not someone you want to be. And that was shown last week during the Steelers game. The second half, he came out and balled out and tied the game, and we should have won that. But the field goal.
Yeah.
But
long snapper.
Maybe if you guys had Bullock, you could have made that. I don't know.
Shots.
Say
You
fat
fuck
Randy.
We signed a new long snapper. We got the long snapper problem figured out.
Oh, they actually ruined your whole. That you would have won with the other long snapper.
Literally, and
You put on the laces.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so weird to think how much that affects a field goal. Like you don't really assume. You assume it's all the kicker that could affect the field goal. But if a long sniper snaps it too high, if the holder doesn't spin the ball when he grabs it and holds it because he doesn't have enough time because he snapped it too high, that's what happened during overtime. He snapped it too high and he had too much time to put it down. He had to just hold it. He couldn't spin it. He had to hold it, and he kicked with the laces out, and boom, his toe hit the lace, shoots it to the straight left and not straight and forward. And it's weird how much that affects a field goal, but it really, really, really affects a field goal. And that really killed us. And I think the same thing happened with the Steelers a couple times with I think their kicker's just bad. But you didn't hear that from me. Cameron would be spazzing on me right now. But Yeah, I hope, we signed a new long snapper. I think everything's fine. Clark Harris should be back soon. Now the Packers versus the Bears, tonight's prime time game. Green Bay is favored to win. I think Green Bay stomps on the Bears. I think they kill every single Bears fan's dreams.
My boy.
I think all the Bears fans are way too pumped, way too hyped from last week's game. They need to understand that the field was literally a river, and that it's really hard to play in a river. And once they go down to Wisconsin, I guess, it's up to Wisconsin because they're right below you.
Yep.
Once they go up to Wisconsin, I think Aaron Rodgers has a talk with all of his receivers. I think he says, catch the fucking ball when I throw it to you. And I think they do it. And I think the Packers blow the Bears out. I think the Packers defense sacks Justin Fields almost every other play.
Okay.
Their line is
My boy.
This is where I'm going to go with this. Okay, so I don't see how you don't pick the Packers, right? For the sake of being different, I'm going to pick the Bears.
For the sake of being different. Okay, I feel it.
So,
I don't.
There's
really no good reason for me picking the Bears here. Because obviously the Packers will stomp on the Bears every time they play. There's no. I'm just going to pick the Bears, though.
Let's say, Aaron Rodgers on Chicago, so.
Yeah, I still think they're going to lose, but I'm picking the Bears anyway.
I love Justin Fields. I love everything he did for the state of Ohio and Ohio State Buckeyes. He was an amazing quarterback. I think he's still an amazing quarterback. I think he's really good at rolling out in the pocket, but I think Packers look at film of what happened last week, and they say whenever he feels pressure, he rolls out to the left or rolls out to the right, and they're going to recognize that, and they're going to contain. And once they contain Fields, that's it for Chicago. Once Packers figure out how to contain Fields, it's gone. The receivers just don't exist.
They suck.
The receivers don't.
They got N'Keal Harry from the Patriots.
Literally.
And he's hurt. He ain't even played.
He's hurt too, damn.
So,
that's crazy.
I think the Packers go into this with a dub. I think they're going to win out of winning, and it's prime time. So, I think another thing that's going to happen. I think Rodgers is going to discount double check again. I think that's his thing. We own you, We fucking own you. I think he's going to pull on that man.
I'm going to bring up something. Like I said, we did not have a good game last week, but guys, listen. REALX. Relax. Green Bay's taking this one easily.
I felt like the first game really didn't even matter for the Packers. Cause you guys remember the previous season, right? When they got blown out in the first game, then they just they made it to the playoffs anyway.
And then we win 7 straight.
Exactly.
They won the NFC. So I mean, it's It's just the Packers. It's how they are. This is interesting. There are 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Yeah, what is up with that? I saw that.
I don't
is
know
that just
why.
like?
I don't even know.
Okay, whatever.
Don't know why, but there is 2 Monday night games.
I'm not going to argue with it.
First one is at 7:15. The Titans versus the Bills. Buffalo is favored to win.
And I would agree with that. I'm going Buffalo on that one.
I think Buffalo, as much as I love Whiplash or Sam, I think Buffalo kills the Titans. If the Titans can't even beat the Giants, what's going to say what happened? What are they going to say what happens when Stephon Diggs runs down the field every play and he just dot every single play? Josh Allen and Diggs every single play. What are they going to do? How are they going to contain that? How? You can't.
True.
You can't contain that. I think the Titans, they have Derrick Henry. I think maybe the Titans get maybe a touchdown or 2, but I think the Bills are going to win by like 40, maybe even 50. I think the Bills are going to destroy the Titans. Based off of the first points.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good.
I'll say I think. Okay, Tennessee has a great rushing attack, like offensively and defensively. I think Derrick Henry is going to bounce back. I think there's Tennessee's defense is going to put a lot of pressure on Josh Allen. I mean, like pretty much it seems like every game lately, Tennessee has been racking up sacks. So I think they're going to put a good amount of pressure on Josh Allen, but it's all dependent on whether or not Ryan Tannehill can continue to prove that he's a starting caliber quarterback. I have Buffalo in this game, and I have them winning by a lot as well. But I think this is going to be like a 31-20 game. I think Buffalo's going to win. They're going to put up a lot of points, but I think Tennessee's still going to fight a little bit.
So do you think Tennessee is going to? Do you think this game's going to be closer than the Rams-Bills game? I would
think
yes.
so.
I
think so.
I expected the Rams-Bills game to be like a 24-21 win for Buffalo, but I think this one is going to be a hell of a lot closer than that game was last week. But I will say Buffalo is going to put up a lot of points on their defense.
Right. I just don't think it's going to be close at all. I think it's going to be way more of a margin than the Rams-Bills game. I think the Bills are going to kill them. I think the Bills are going to show no mercy. And
what's the other Monday for you?
That brings us to our 8:30 game on ABC. Philadelphia is favored to win against the Vikings.
See, I don't even know if that's a good game to watch. This is Eagles Vikings.
I think it's actually going to be a really good game to watch. I think both these teams are playoff contenders.
I think they're very similar.
That's true.
Yes.
I guess.
Similar.
Yeah, let's say, and like I said, considering the fact that Minnesota, they handed our ass back to us on a silver platter, like they kicked our ass. But I think if Philadelphia can figure it out defensively, I'm gonna go Philadelphia. And one, because I want them to kick the crap out of Minnesota because fuck the Vikings. But I think Philadelphia, if they can get a good game figured out defensively, I think they have a legitimate shot. Because I don't think Minnesota's defense is really that good against the run. So I think Philly's going to win. It's going to be a close game, though. I really think
I'll go with the Eagles too. They have a ton of weapons.
I think I might go with the Vikings. The Vikings looked very, very good last week. And that was against Green Bay, which is saying a lot.
True. Yeah.
The Eagles almost choked to the Lions, which also says
True.
I think
that is fair.
Justin Jefferson looked amazing. I love him as a player. I think I don't know how they're going to cover Justin Jefferson. Or even Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook's gonna run right through him as well. So I think the Vikings. I think this game's gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna be a close game, but I think the Vikings squeak it out, maybe by a field goal or a touchdown.
I think the reason I choose the Eagles is because I don't know if the Vikings defense can hold off everybody that they have now.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know. It's gonna, like I said, this is gonna be a really close game. A lot closer than I think a lot of people are giving credit for.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, like I said, both these teams are playoff contenders. They're still kind of trying to figure bits and pieces of themselves out. But yeah, I think Philly's gonna take it, but it's gonna be. I think this is gonna be pretty damn close to what you would expect for like classic football, where it's a good run game and which defense can hold their own.
And that wraps up the games for week 2. I think it's gonna be interesting. I guess we can predict week 3 Thursday night game because I don't know if we're gonna. We're planning on doing a podcast before it, but let's just why not just get the Thursday.
What is
game
next week's Thursday?
It's a stinker.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a stinker, in my opinion. I mean, because I'm an AFC. Steelers versus the Browns.
Ooh,
Jesus, Browns.
Cleveland actually is favored to win this game. Believe it or not.
I think the Browns won.
Oh, damn.
I don't even know who I want to win this fucking game.
I really don't. Yeah, I really don't even.
Especially as a Bengals fan, like, what do I do? I don't want the Steelers to win because they beat us. I don't want the Browns to win because it's the fucking Browns.
Yeah, but do you really want the Browns to win after everything they did in the offseason?
Oh, I don't want them to win. I just think they will.
But I don't want the Steelers to win because I don't like hearing shit about the. I had to block the Steelers on Twitter because their posts were so annoying against the Bengals. It was the most cringy fucking shit. But I'd block them. It was annoying me. And
True.
you know, I don't know if you guys have been seeing my Twitter lately. You know how I've been saying how I hate the fucking lobster, like weird.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that lobster. Yeah.
The Steelers on TikTok. I was just scrolling through TikTok, and the Steelers said like it was like you'll never believe what Najee Harris said before this pregame, and I was like, oh, what did he say? The fucking lobster jumps out. I know. I was so pissed. I was so mad. Here, look. I don't know if I'll try to show it on screen, but yeah, let me see it. Yeah, I downloaded it because I was so mad.
Ah, damn.
Oh, Jesus.
I was fuming. This was late night last night too, and I was fuming. I was like,
Jacoby
the Steelers
Myers.
find a way.
Apparently, Jacoby Myers is really mad at the Patriots camp, and they're saying that he's saying basically, this is like an inside thing, that he doesn't want to work with Matt Patricia, his offensive coordinator.
Wait, Patricia's the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, they brought him back this season. That's why everyone's like, "What the fuck are the Patriots
I
doing?"
thought his specialty was defense.
Nah, he's offensive coordinator.
Holy fuck.
I think Flores is their defense coordinator now. Yeah, Patricia doesn't have a plan.
No wonder Jacoby Myers is pissed.
Even Mac Jones said he questions what the play calls are sometimes now. Like, he doesn't understand why the fuck they got Matt Patricia.
Oh, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, that's
I think Belichick thought it was going to be good because they used to have him, and then, the fucking Lion shit. And now he's back here, and they just don't know what the fuck they're doing on offense.
Holy mother of God.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's bad.
Hold on 1 second.
Let's say that is. I can't believe that. Like,
I don't know how you bring back Patricia.
Oh, I understand like the idea of like bringing him back as some kind of coordinator, but I thought he was a defensive minded coach.
I guess I don't know, dude.
That's a holy shit.
Yeah, nobody's happy with Patricia right now.
No, they shouldn't be. That's like Joe Judge continuing to be the head coach of the Giants. That's how bad it is. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that kind of is why I have no faith in the Patriots this season. I just don't see how they win anything.
Yeah. Well, I still think they're going to do something because it's Belichick.
Yeah, I think they'll win a few games. I just don't think. I honestly don't even know if they'll make playoffs because they're at least last season. Even if they do make playoffs, I think they'll still get blown out by the Bills, just like last year.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. Like because I did a video earlier before the season started. I did a video on which teams I think are going to make the postseason. I put New England in there, but I put them in because it's Belichick. He's pretty much a Sith Lord at this point. He'll find a way to make the postseason.
Just talk about Belichick and that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, but now that I know that Patricia is the offensive coordinator for New England, holy shit.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's stupid.
Would you still say the Steelers are going to win? Or then think about that, Patriots versus
I say the Steelers win, then, yeah. I think I already said that, but
yeah, I still think New England's going to win just because of the defense, but I just think they're going to eat Mitch Trubisky alive. And if with Najee Harris having that ankle injury too, I know he's playing, but that ankle is going to affect his movement a little bit.
Yeah.
But looking at the Thursday night game, I think it's gonna. Flip a coin. I don't really care at that point. I'm gonna probably go Pittsburgh, but I really want to see what they do in this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was were all the games. So we got some pretty bold predictions happening this week, and maybe next week we'll go over what all we got right, what all we got wrong. Actually, I kind of want to do that. We can do that right now with our predictions from last week. Which one did I do it on? I think I have the picture here. Let me find the picture.
Oh, I'll say if your predictions were anything like my predictions last week, you're probably going to be sad by it.
Yeah, my predictions were pretty sad. So let me open this one. And then let me open the other one as well. Okie dokie, okay. So I'll go with this one first. So it was me.
Gabriel Davis is in question against the Titans. All right.
Ooh, interesting.
Ooh. Well, he's got another night to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last week on the podcast, it was me, Zazu, Cameron, and Gaetano. For Bills Rams, I said the Bills would win. Braden said the Rams. Bills. Cameron said Rams, and Gaetano said Bills. So I was right. Gaetano was right. Zazu and Cameron were wrong. We all said the Saints would win. So we all got that one right.
Yep, I picked that one too.
Browns, Panthers. We all said the Panthers would win. So we all got that one wrong.
Yeah, I picked that one wrong.
Niners,
too.
Bears. We all said the Niners would win. We all got that one wrong.
Same.
Me, Braden, and Gaetano said that the Bengals would win, and Cameron, of course, said the Steelers would win. And, of course, Cameron's the only one that's right because he's a Steelers fan.
I picked Cincinnati as well.
Me, Braden, and Gaetano said that the Lions would beat the Eagles, and Cameron said the Eagles would win, and he was right.
So I picked the Eagles there.
Colts, Texans, we all said the Colts, and we were kind of right.
Nobody won that game. Nobody won that game.
Patriots, Dolphins, we all said the Dolphins would win.
I actually had picked New England in that game.
Jets, Ravens. Braden, Cameron, and Gaetano said the Ravens would win. I thought this would be the upset of the week, and I picked the Jets, and I was wrong. Jaguars versus Commanders. We all said Jags, and we were all wrong.
I picked Washington on that one.
Giants, Titans. We all said Titans. Once again, we were all wrong. Cardinals, Chiefs. I said Cardinals because I believed in them, and they messed me up. Everyone else said Chiefs.
Again, I picked Kansas City, but I thought it was going to be closer.
Raiders, Chargers. I said Raiders, and Gaetano said Raiders, while Braden and Cameron said Chargers.
Chargers.
The next one's pretty surprising. Me, Cameron, and Gaetano, we all said Green Bay would win against the Vikings. Braden was the one that said the Vikings would win, and Braden got that right.
Braden.
So going on Braden. Me and Braden said the Bucks would beat the Cowboys, while Cameron and Gaetano said the Cowboys would beat the Bucks. I put a little sad face next to Gaetano's because he was sad about that. But he ended up being right and he ended up being wrong. And then Broncos versus Seahawks. We all said the Broncos would win, and we were all wrong.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I will still say in that game though, if you actually did pick Seattle to win that game, you probably already live in Seattle. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can turn the stream off, B-Rad? Because I think it messed up the face cams on the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. There we go. Okay. I was saying because the thing moved everyone.
My bad.
You're good. So now we're nearing the end of the pod. This is actually a pretty good podcast. It's good length. We're at what hour and 40 minutes. Kat said you said you would leave us, but you ended up staying. So
Just my parents. They went alone.
Okay, so appreciate for you for staying. Yeah, without me being the only host from the original three, I think this podcast went pretty well.
Hey, that's wild to me, honestly. You're like the only one left.
Well, it's not that the only one left. I was the only one available today, so thank you I was available today. Because I really wanted to get an episode out today before the games happened because I wanted to talk about week 2 because we never talked about week 2. I thought it'd be kind of irrelevant to talk about week 2 tomorrow because I think we're planning on doing another one tomorrow to talk about week 3. But I feel like it'd be irrelevant to talk about week 2 tomorrow because all the games would basically be over. So now that we're nearing the end, we do this end segment at the end of every podcast called Top 3, Bottom 3. Basically, it's just one of us, I'll let you two decide who. One of us decides a top 3 of anything. It could do with NFL. It could be anything in the NFL you want. So I think last week we did like top 3. What did we do? It was some goofy thing. It was like top 3 cartoon characters as as running as football players, I think. Or no, we did top 3 celebrities. That's what it was. It was top 3 celebrities as football players. Because I remember Dwayne the Rock Johnson was like number 1 for all 3 of us. And then, I think bottom 3 we did bottom 3 defenses in the league. But because usually we let the guest decide what's the top 3, bottom 3 is going to be. But since there's 2 guests on, I'll let you 2 decide if one of you want to do it, or if you guys both want to decide on one. I'll let you take it away.
I'll let you choose B-Red because I don't know.
I was going to say, I was going to let you choose this because I have the brain capacity of a rodent right now. So, how about we do... I'm actually kind of intrigued. I don't know if you've done it yet. I kind of want to do top 3 wide receivers.
Okay.
And I want to do bottom 3.
See, the thing about bottom 3 is it's so hard because if you do like bottom 3, if you do bottom 3 running backs, like you could just choose 3 waiver wire quarterbacks that aren't even playing. So that's the thing that's hard about the bottom 3 part because you could just do bottom 3.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say bottom 3 starting running backs, or whatever.
I was gonna say, how about we do bottom 3 starting quarterbacks?
Okay. So you said top 3 wide receivers. You said.
Yep.
Okay. Since you decided it, how about Kat? You go first.
Are we doing top first or
whatever? Yeah, top first.
We're doing top
first.
Okay. Top 3 receivers. I'm putting Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, and oh boy, it's hard.
Number 3 is a toss-up. There's a lot of good receivers.
There's a lot of receivers. I'm just gonna Jefferson. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I'd say as much as I love Jamar Chase, like I was in agreement with you, Kayla, when the Madden ratings came out that Jamar Chase was criminally underrated.
He got screwed over by Madden.
Yeah, although they also gave Josh Allen like a 91 or 92 initially. So Madden don't know shit. But as far as top 3 receivers, I'd probably say number 3 would be Justin Jefferson. Number 2, I think it's Devontae, and number 1 Cooper Kupp.
My list is very similar. I'd say number 1's Kupp, 2 Devontae, 3 Chase.
That's fair.
I said,
Chase got bumped to 88.
Yeah, he got up to an 88 overall in Madden. 88, whoopsie fucking do.
Don't think shit. But
at least you guys have a 68 quarterback on your fucking team.
True.
They should have upped.
Geno Smith was 68. They should have upped Geno, dude. That's crazy.
That crazy game. Yeah, they should have upped him to like at least high 70s.
It's actually sad that Geno and Drew Lock are within 2. Drew Lock is 66 and Geno 68. That's just sad.
Yeah. But no, I'm just glad we at least we're pretty much in agreement of the wide receivers there. I think we at least picked 3 or 4 of the top 5, top 10 guys. So
and honorable mentions like Debo. For me, it would be Jefferson would be honorable mention. All those other talented. There's a lot of talented wide receivers in the league this year, and it's hard to pick a top 5 or top 3 because they're all so talented.
I'd say it's been crazy to think about drafting fantasy football this year, and I normally try to go running back, and I think most of the time I just went wide receiver because it's so there's so much good talent out there this year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's like a rule too in fantasy that you've got to pick a running back first. But I think that rule really kind of changed this year a little bit with the wide receiver room. Cooper Kupp being up there, Devontae, Chase, Jefferson, all of those and those are wide receivers for a fact they're going to get you basically 20 plus points every game. It's just there's no doubt about it. So you're basically getting a free 20 points every game because they're going to do good unless they get injured, and that's very unfortunate. But for a fact they're going to get targeted a ton because they're the best wide receiver on the team. And for a fact they're going to get you. I think Chase averaged 10 yards last year. Or not last year, last week against the Steelers.
Yep.
Every time he had the ball, he got 10 plus yards, which is insane. And it really helps having a good quarterback too, because having a good quarterback really makes a wide receiver shine. Like Burrow making some of the throws he did really made Chase shine with some of the catches he had. And I think that's a big thing with how people look at wide receivers. Because I feel like there's some wide receivers out there that are very criminally underrated, and if they had a good quarterback, they could really, really shine, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Like Devontae Adams not having Aaron Rodgers it's starting to show a little bit how much Aaron Rodgers made Devontae Adams shine as a good quarterback. And Derek Carr, I'm not saying Derek Carr is not a good quarterback at all. I'm saying they had a lot more chemistry, and it's starting to show a little bit how Rodgers really made Adams shine as a wide receiver. And I think the same thing with I think Debo. I think Debo would be really high on the list for people if he had someone that wasn't Garoppolo or Lance throwing to him, or if he wasn't being the running back of every fucking play. I think Debo would be an insane, and he already was. He made with what he had, and he was already a really good wide receiver. But I think if he had if he was on the fucking Bengals, or if he was on the Packers when they had Rodgers, or they have Rodgers. What am I talking about? They were on the Packers. If they were on, maybe even the Broncos with Russell Wilson, I think that he would be insane. More than he already is. I think he would definitely be more than he already has right now. But
it's like I said, like you were saying, the wide receiver class is just so deep, and it really depends on your quarterback too. Because you only have like a few amazing quarterbacks like Mahomes and Burrow and Herbert and Allen, and once you get past that top 5 or 6, everything is just decent to mid to bad. It drops pretty damn quickly. If each of them had their top star wide receiver, even you could pretty much pick and choose whoever to throw in there. You could throw Jefferson in Green Bay, or you could throw Devontae in Kansas City, and I feel like they would just absolutely rock it with them. But if you threw Cooper Kupp in New England or something with Mac Jones, you start to kind of get a little shifty there. So, I
think the biggest example of this, and I kind of forgot about this until you brought up Patrick Mahomes. The biggest example of what I was talking about, Tyreek Hill with Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
I think Tyreek Hill was probably top 5 on everyone's list. And
for
then
sure.
he went to the Dolphins. And he's still a good wide receiver. Tua's not a terrible quarterback, but
he's still a great wide receiver.
He didn't have as big of a game as he probably would have in Kansas City, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have as a star of a quarterback as Patrick Mahomes as I think Tua in the future years, I think he's going to be a star quarterback. I think Tua's going to be a star quarterback in the future years. I still think he needs to work up to that, but I think that he doesn't have that as much talent as Patrick Mahomes is inhuman. I don't think because he doesn't have that inhuman talent, he's not really getting as much as he really wants to. So I think that's a perfect example of what we're talking about. But we're getting to 10 minutes until game time, so I think we should probably hurry up here a little bit. Bottom 3, you said bottom 3 quarterbacks, right?
Yep. Bottom 3 starting quarterbacks.
Bottom 3 starting quarterbacks. All right, let's start with Cat. Pat, bottom 3. They're pretty good quarterbacks that you could say here. Pretty easy list.
You said starting though, right? Not
starting quarterback, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Trubisky for sure. I want to say Geno, but I got to see more. But I'm going to put Geno there right now anyway, because I think compared to other quarterbacks, yeah. And that third one's going to kill me, I think. I'm trying to think. Did I say Wentz?
No.
I'm putting Wentz there.
Fair enough.
It's a good list.
I agree. Trubisky. I think he's definitely in the bottom 3. I want him to do good, but
Yeah.
I'd probably say Jacoby Brissett, as of right now, is probably not a good.
Oh, I
Is
forgot
probably
about
in the
that.
bottom 3. And then third, I'd probably go Daniel Jones. I just
Dude, I
don't
forgot
think
about all
he's-
these guys. I threw Gino under the bus for no reason.
I would have put Gino in there, but
Daniel
he
Jones
looks
has
good.
to be worse than Gino.
Yeah,
I think there's someone you guys are forgetting about. I might go number 1. I might go with Joe Flacco. I might put Flacco down
True.
there.
That's true.
Flacco down there with I was gonna say Jared Goff.
Dude, I forgot about it. I'm not even kidding. I didn't think of any of these guys that you're saying right now. It's fuck.
Jared.
I should have gone second.
Like
I fucked
Jared,
myself.
like Jared Goff, Marcus Mariota, Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like I said, there's a lot of bottom tier quarterbacks you can go with. I might go with Davis Mills as number 1. As much,
General Mills.
General Mills. I might go with Mills number 1. Flacco 2.
Yeah.
And I'll give Trubisky some prep. And I'll put Brissett number 3. Jacoby
Okay.
Brissett number 3.
Okay.
I would have put Flacco in there, but I kind of wanted to go with quarterbacks I know are actually going to start more than 4 games.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when Wilson comes back, Flacco's going right.
Oh,
to
he's
the
gone.
bench.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The only reason why I didn't put Trubisky in my bottom 3, I think he's down in the bottom 5, maybe bottom 6. But
For sure.
The pass he had to Deontay Johnson to set him up to win the game was just a beautiful pass, a beautiful catch. I
True.
think that proved it, in my opinion, that he's not as bad as everyone's saying. Definitely think that Kenny Pickett should be starting. I don't know why he's not. But, yeah. I think that's my bottom 3. But, so we're getting to the end here. My internet's starting to die a little bit. I'm starting to see my internet cut out a tiny bit, so let's probably should hurry up the ending here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was episode number 7. B-Rad, Kat, thank you guys so much for joining. I'm not sure when our next episode is going to be, but pay attention to our TikTok. It'll be down in the description. That's when I'll be posting updates to when our next podcast will be. And do you guys have any final thoughts before the games today?
Docs.
I was just going to say, go check me out on Twitch and YouTube, B-Rad the Man. Do some gaming, do some sports, all the fun stuff. So,
Yes, sir. And go follow Catasio on Twitter. He tweets a lot about sports whenever it's
Very, honestly, dude, I'm starting to think people hate me because of how many tweets I put on Twitter during football games.
Right. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this podcast, again, leave a like, subscribe. If you guys are listening on Spotify, I appreciate you for listening on Spotify. I don't know if you follow on Spotify. I still don't know what you do on Spotify. I think you follow, I think.
I think so, yeah.
But if you guys want to know when we go live for the podcast, turn on those post noties. We always talk about football stuff. And I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.